So you had a time when we started the show, questions ranging from 50 lakhs going right up to even 5 crores. Now we've reached a time that a city like Mumbai, which is expensive, and we still get questions ranging between 30 lakhs, of course we're talking about the Mumbai region, to maximum 1.5 crore. So what's really happened to the city of super rich, which has some of the most expensive addresses in the country? Well, it seems that this market, or the super luxury market, has hit rock bottom. Data from Prop Equity shows that out of 28,000 luxury units launched in MMR or Mumbai region between April 2014 to April 2016, only about 11,000 have been sold, leaving a whopping 17,000 units unsold. So is there an opportunity in this downturn? Let's get the views of Vinod Rohera, MD K Raheja, Sandeep Sad, MD and founder of Mumbai Property Exchange, and of course Sameer is with us in the studio as well. Let me go across to Vinod Rohera. Mr. Rohera, your reaction first to the fact that the luxury and the super luxury market has really seen the toughest times over the last 2 years, and even branded marquee developers like you are facing some troubled times when it comes to that segment. How bad is the situation?
So I don't think projects which are delivered to promise and are being offered by great brands are facing any problem. It's just that the customer is taking a bit longer to take his decision. He's spreading his decision over 3 to 6 months because he's extremely risk averse right now, and which is what helps bigger brands sell their premium residential real estate. So it's a more patient game, but there's no dearth of customers who are looking for end-use buyer property.
Patience required. Sandeep, do you think that there are opportunities in this downturn? I think that's the big question. If the market prices have been flat for the last 2 years, sales have slowed down, and we know that developers with a great track record and enjoying their trust will find a buyer. My question is, how do you spot out good opportunities?
Well, in the past 6 months, we have seen a lot of deals which are like no floor rise deals come up in the market, which means like a tower of 50 stories. The developer now is saying there's no floor rise, you have to pay and choose any floor you buy. So we have seen recent launches also with a similar pattern, and I think that's an opportunity at least to begin with in this kind of a market. Of course, there are a lot of 20/80 schemes, the 5, 70, 20, and then 10 onwards and so on. So I think there's a good amount of opportunity available for actual home buyers today with structured financial schemes in the market, which I think should be encashed upon if one has to see. Good times and bad times both come in real estate. Right now it's a good period for a home buyer to understand that the developers may be stressed because of whatever reasons. So this is a good time to encash, I think.
Okay. Sameer, now structured finance throws up, of course, very, very different connotations for me. There are lots of developers who come and say, okay, you know, bring in the money up front or bring into us in phases, and at the time of completion of the project we will give you a certain percentage and promise to buy back. Is there risk associated with these or not?
Most definitely there's risk associated with this, because if the developer does not have the money to buy back the apartment, the only recourse left to you is to go to court, and that means that you can be stuck for 5 to 10 years. And you've just seen a recent development that's happened where Unitech has raised its hand and said we don't have the money to pay back. So that eventuality can always happen, and whenever these buyback schemes are being considered, there should be many caveats that have to be looked into. You have to have a legal department, literally a legal department with you to cover all the possible points that can go wrong. Especially in an agreement with the developer. So my suggestion is stay away from structured finance deals for buyback at least.
Okay. Mr. Rohera, I'm going to come back to you. Now, the interesting aspect of the luxury market is that when you actually make money on the right luxury property, the returns can also be phenomenal. Even if end users buy it, they're traditionally people who have number of homes and like their real estate portfolio to grow. So from you at this moment, do you have that belief that, look, we might have hit the rock bottom in terms of prices and this could be the right time for anybody to buy luxury? Or would you say, look, I'm not going to do any kind of a call on property prices right now at this moment?
See, it's like this, the market, the way it is right now, the end user who's looking for buying a home is going to take a decision based on very different parameters to those who are actually investors looking at buying luxury property. So a person who's buying a home needs to see how quickly it's going to get delivered, how sure is he of the quality of what he's going to like to live into and what is being promised of him to be delivered, and what is he expecting out of a home, because most of these buyers are completely buying out of pure equity. Very little debt is taken into consideration when they are buying homes like these. So obviously their consideration for buying a home is very different, and if those products add up, this is the best time to buy.
Okay, what I'm understanding from you is that you will actually see more shakeout in 2018, 2019 as the projects are completed?
I think very few projects will complete to promise. So by default, consumers will start running away from those projects that don't add up to the promise. So in the marketplace on a macro level, you will feel the disruption, but these consumers will flock towards products they are more sure of delivery and are more closer to what they believe will be the ideal home for them in the ultra luxury segment. So there will be a mismatch of certain projects doing very well and a lot of them not doing well at all.
Fair enough, I get that point. Samir, how do you spot out some great deals in the ultra luxury segment? I mean, globally we've known that HNI is bet big on real estate. They have a lot of real estate in their portfolio to actually get richer.
See, first of all, we just did a report on ultra luxury and luxury segment, and there were a lot of findings in this report and a lot of learnings. We spent time with the top management of DLF, which have probably created the highest super luxury complex with 8,000 crores of sales in the last 2 years with 100% appreciation. So what has to be kept in mind when you're talking about ultra luxury? The buyer wants a very exclusive product. Budget is not his criteria. He's looking for a lot of privacy, exclusivity, and he wants to be a part of a club, an exclusive club. Now, if you can actually deliver that to him, which is really a dream that we're talking about, and there are such projects like that, then profitability from a developer's point of view and appreciation for that kind of project is not a challenge whatsoever, and it's been demonstrated in ultra luxury developments across the world, really speaking, because there has to be a demand supply mismatch that has to be created, and ultra luxury can create that if you're truly creating an ultra luxury project.
Okay.
Ultra luxury on the other hand also can only be not more than 0.1 to 2.2% of the overall market.
So it's a very, very niche market, very tiny markets, and would you agree that it's a price inelastic market? Is really the quality of product that somebody will get at the end of it, and whether he will get the kind of specifications he's been promised, what he's been promised, and in time that he's been promised, which will drive this market?
Absolutely. See, luxury is very aspirational. So I aspire for that house, I aspire for that kind of environment around me. I want to move away from the typical older blocks in South Mumbai to a brand new swanky building and so on. So I think that always remains. Luxury would always be connected with a certain feature. Like a few years back, top developers in Mumbai started with brands. Armani came in, and all your top European brands who were doing real estate in Europe also came in as designers here. So you could see that feel already 3 years back, 4 years back entering into the market. Yes, there is Kelly Hoppin's Homemade in Vadala today. So you imagine the kind of aspirational value people have. Look, if I get a Kelly Hoppin's home, which is a 1 BHK, I'm very happy to have that. So I think it's very, very essential.
Okay, Mr. Rohira, final question to you. They also say that the more luxurious the project is, and an ultra luxury project that we are talking about, generally tend to take very long to build and also tend to overrun in time. Historically, we've seen a lot of developers facing that problem in Mumbai as well. Projects in the ultra luxury segment which were promised in a certain duration haven't really been delivered in that duration. Is that likely to change? A downturn really helps developers realize the big problem areas. Is that a realization?
See, the challenge is not luxury or ultra luxury. The challenge is that in recent times, most ultra luxury developments have been planned with 80 and 90 story towers, especially in the city of Mumbai. When you look at those kind of high rises with the level of promise of finish and deliverables, it's never going to be possible to deliver in 5 years. But if those developers promise you anything greater than 5 years, they've lost the attention of the consumer. So by default, they start with a wrong expectation, and they tell you they're going to deliver in 5 years, which is not really going to be reality. It's going to take minimum 7 to 8 years. Then what happens is, with the pressure, you shortchange finishes, you deliver in a shabby manner, and then you may not end up delivering what you promised to deliver of that ultra luxury home. That's where the mismatch is.
Okay, Mr. Rohira, I think points that you brought about are very, very important, that really those who are going to deliver what they promise are the ones who are going to be left standing in this ultra luxury market, because the buyers are calling all the shots now, and they're not going to either settle for a shoddy product or delivery timelines which have been promised and are not being met. Sandeep and Mr. Rohira, thank you very much for joining me, gentlemen, and of course Sameer. Thanks very much for taking this discussion and all the rest of our questions.